There's been a lot of mixed reviews of the FNAF Freddy's movie. Some love it, some hate it, though personally I thought it was everything it needed to be. But there's one scene that a lot of people found disappointing, and that is the Springlock Failure scene. However, I found it very clever and well done. For those who thought the scene was disappointing, hopefully this video will shed some more appreciation to it. As I'm your host, Young AVGN, cause why not? I'm here to discuss games that real AVGN might not have time for, or interested in. So here we go! First off, we gotta talk about the Springlock Mechanics and the overall design of the movie. We're first introduced to them in the back room of the pizzeria, when Mike takes the first glance of the Springlock mechanism, when we hear this noise. I just love our first look, we already hear how unstable they are, and the overall design of the Springlocks are seen to be based on like a bear trap or some other similar trap. I just love how simple the design is. One major thing I hate about the game Springlocks is that they're way too complicated to understand. You got Springlocks on arms, legs, chest, supposedly the mask, and everywhere else. The only way why the game Springlocks work is that they are implied and not actually shown. Just whatever seems to be the game's mechanism for the Springlock seems very unrealistic and overcomplicated for reality, which would be a huge problem for a live-action adaptation. So I just love this simple design, it's easy to understand. And just looking at it alone, I get a sense of uneasiness. The little details like that, where the locks slightly jitter when Chica tries to put Abby into it, just adds to it. Now for the main point of the video, the Springlock Failure scene. The scene begins with the animatronics' realization of who their true killer is, by a drawing Abby made. And I just love the concept of this, it makes it feel more like a ritual, which fits well for the ghost nature of FNAF. After that, the animatronics start ganging up on Afton, with Now I Kill You playing from the Newton Brothers. And overall, they did a really good job for the soundtrack of the movie, but this one is my favorite. I just thought the vocals are the children, which makes it feel more emotional, and this is the kids' moment. And instead of having Afton begging for forgiveness or pleading for help, he instead taunts the kids. This stays very consistent with his character throughout the movie, as he uses manipulation and pity as a last-ditch effort. Then the cupcake launches forward, which rips open the suit and exposes the Springlocks. And I just gotta say how genius this is on a filmmaking standpoint. Being able to see the Springlocks going off in this context really makes it more impactful. Anyways, the first Springlocks go off and William makes a slight squeal. But rather than panic, he tries to hold off the Springlocks, trying to prevent the other ones going off. But it's too late, and I just love the face Matthew gives here, knowing that he's screwed. As slowly the other Springlocks go off, he goes to the ground. And all the visible Springlocks have gone off, so the camera focuses on William's face and the noises of the final Springlocks failing. I just love the sound of the Springlocks too, with that hard metal noise. It kind of reminds me of the scooper noise. But moving on, we see Afton trying to hold back his pain to the animatronics. Then he lifts up the mask and says his iconic line,
"I always come back."
Then he puts on the mask and falls to the floor. This part of the scene really feels like the transformation of Afton becoming Springtrap. Then we see one of the most climactic scenes in any movies. Or maybe that might be a stretch. But anyways, the animatronics take Afton and destroy the entrance of the pizzeria to keep him trapped. And that's how it ends. Now, a lot of people complain about the scene not being bloody and stuff, but realistically, there wouldn't be blood visible, even if there were Springlocks all over the body. Because he's wearing a thick coveralls, a lot of blood wouldn't really bleed through. And I don't get why people like Afton screaming, I just found it plain stupid. You wouldn't be able to scream in that situation, nor want to. Now, I'll briefly discuss the ending scene, but that's one really great thing about this version of the Springlocks. The Springlocks only hit some of the vital organs, but not the heart and the lungs. So the true suffering about these Springlocks is that he won't die for a long period of time. Especially since he won't die from blood loss, he'll probably live for at least a couple hours, at most days. And there's some theories that the Golden Freddy spirit is keeping them alive even longer. But that's my huge ramble on the Springlock Failure scene, and why I think it's perfect. I just felt like I had to say something when I heard people saying it was underwhelming and disappointing. I want to shed light on how truly an incredible job the filmmakers of this movie did on the scene. Anyways, thank you for watching, it really does mean a lot to me. And if you want more videos like this, please subscribe, it helps me out a ton. I will do more videos like this for certain in the future. And I actually got a special 10th anniversary video planned for FNAF. So stay tuned, and I hope all of you have a wonderful day.